Hello people, welcome to another tutorial on Android Studio, and this time we're going to look at a small tutorial on how to quickly start on Android Studio with Kotlin. So in order to use Kotlin on your PC or Mac, you're going to have to need Android Studio 3.0 preview. So please go to Android Studio download page and download Android Studio Preview 3.0. I'll share a download link in the description so you can directly go check it out. At the time of recording this video, it's still available in beta, so you might not need to download the beta version in the future. So I just launched the Android Studio, and I'm going to start a new Android Studio project, and I'm going to name it Test Android Kotlin. Yeah, make sure the include Kotlin support checkbox is checked. Package name is okay, and let's save it somewhere. Test project. Okay, next. And I'm not going to change anything since it's going to be a small introductory video. I don't have to go into explaining all this stuff. So I'm going to select empty activity. Just leave it. It's going to be main activity. We are not going to create any new activities, just going to use this main activity to explore some of the features of Kotlin. So just a reminder, it's not an in-depth Kotlin course, it's going to be a crash course. So if you're already doing Android development in Java, so this might be a good stepping stone video where you can learn some of the cool features of Kotlin. And it's going to take some time to build the project, and if you're doing it for the first time, it will take ample of time, so be patient and wait. Okay, awesome. Okay, the first thing you're gonna note is that the main activity, and it's no longer have the extents or whatever the feature that you saw in the Java. It's having different syntaxes and looks different, so I don't think you need to freak out, and it's quite intuitive language. So I've been using it last couple of days, and I'm really excited, especially since my background is iOS development, and this Kotlin looks so similar to Swift. So if you're already doing development for Swift, and I'm sure you're gonna find many similarities between Kotlin and Swift. Enough with the blabbering, and let's get on with it with a new tutorial. So the first thing first, so I'm going to show one of the cool features. What's the first thing? So as usual, you can write your comments with slashes, and you can type your comment here. So this is similar to what you have had in Java. Also, you can have multiple line of comments. This is multiple lines of comments, you see. So you can use this. This is again something you had back in Java. And Now we are coming to the most interesting part. So in order to declare a variable, what we're going to do is we are simply going to type var. Yeah, it sounds like JavaScript, or it's similar to the Swift, and we can say my name, and I can give it a string value saying J, and you don't have to put this semicolon to break the line. You just simply have to enter to go to the next line, just like Swift again. So that's one thing. And so when you are declaring the variable, you can explicitly mention the type. So since here it's a string, I can just say string. If you put string, then you won't be able to assign an integer. The compiler is going to throw an error. Say to int. No, I'm not going to change to int. So I'm going to change to J. So the next thing is, so we know we have var now, and what we can, if you want, we can go ahead and change my name to Mayu. Nothing will happen. But if you put val, another name, string, and say Kavi, in this case it's going to be a constant, and you won't be able to change the value. So that is, say, let's say if you try assigning a new value, say you're getting an error, well, cannot be reassigned. So that because it's a constant. So if you're coming from a Swift background, it's similar to var and let. This val is similar to let. So let's comment it out. Variables, constants, okay, next let's move on to the next section. Another cool thing is, so let's open the resource file. And go to this text view, and this text view has no ID. So let's say I'm going to add an ID. So let's call it my text view, and save it, close it. So back in good old days, when you're using Android Studio, the Eclipse, even very long back, what you have to do is when you have to find a text view, what you have to do is you need to use the support method find view by ID. So let's say my text view, and what you have to do is find view by ID. It's going to be a text view, and r.id.my text view, and then you can change the my text view value. Just simply text. You don't have to put set text or anything, and I'll change to hello and welcome to the world of Kotlin. And let's run Control R and run. I really like the new Android emulator. If you have used it back in those days, it's very slow and grumpy, but it has come a long way and it's really doing wonderful things. I really like the Android emulator now. It's as fast as the Xcode and iOS simulator. That's all I can say at this moment. As you can see, the value we typed is showing up here. The good thing is we don't have to do all these things. What I'm going to do is I'm simply going to access my text view by typing my text view. You don't have to use the find view by ID anymore. So this is really awesome because you can simply avoid all this stupid boilerplate code, and it's really annoying. You don't have to repeat yourself. You can really write a dry code. And so I'm going to say hello, and this is awesome. Control S, Command S, and Control R. And instant run kicks in, and hello, and this is awesome. You see, it's simple. So let's move on to the next area. The string concatenation becomes really interesting. I'll delete this section and I'll create a variable, my name, and it's going to be a string J. For my age, it's going to be a int 33. Now what I want to do is I'm going to create a greeting text, and let's say I'm going to say hi $, my name, you are my age years old. You see, concatenating a string is really easy, and when you are concatenating a integer, you don't have to do anything funny here. You don't have to convert it to string before using it here in this concatenation. It simply just works. So behind the screen, I'm sure the compiler does all the heavy lifting for you, and it just works seamlessly. Let's set this value to, or we can print it, println, and I'll say greeting text and Command R, and let's see, got it. And let's check out the logcat. Here it's here, hi Jay, you are 33 years old. So that's it for the string concatenation. So we can slightly touch functions. So let's write our first function. So the first function is going to be say hello. So that is our first function, and it's going to just print hello. You can see the anatomy of your function. It's starting with a fun keyword and then the method name and these brackets and everything similar to what you had in Java, the rest of the thing. and just say println, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this line and going to call say hello from here. Simple as that. So let's run it. So system.out here, it prints hello. Let's step up our function a bit, and I'm going to pass a parameter. So first thing I'm going to pass is a name, which is a string. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass J here, or I can simply pass my name. Since we already have a variable, my name. Awesome. So I'm going to this. So I hope you understand this. So I'm passing a variable called name, which is a type of a string, and I'm using that variable inside this println function. So it should ideally print hello J. Let's run and see what it prints. Oh, sorry, it should be Control R. Hello J. Let's see how to pass multiple parameters, and I'm going to pass age, which is a type of integer. So what I'm going to do here is simply passing my age. No issues. And I'm going to continue this statement. You are just age years old. Oh, I'm sad. I'm so old now. So let's run it and see what we get. So it says, hello Jay, you are 33 years old. It's working just fine. So for example, let's say you're gonna return a string. So how to do that? In Swift, you will simply put like this, but we can do that here since it's not Swift, it's Kotlin. What we're gonna do is simply put a colon, and we're gonna say string. So the return type is string. So what I'm going to return here is this. Just delete it. So instead of this, I can put this here, and maybe I'll assign the value. My text view dot text is equal to greeting text. Let's see whether it works. There you go. It works just exactly how we expected. So we have looked at how to create a simple function, and then we have looked at how to pass in multiple parameters, and also we have just now looked at how to return how to set up the return type as well. Next thing we'll slightly touch the there's another thing actually I want to show you. It's called single expression function. So instead of writing all these fancy curly braces and return types, you can simply write a function like this, and it's going to be a function at values, and this function is going to take two parameters, integer b b second integer, and what it's going to do is it's going to add a and b. That's what it's going to do. So you can simply call it add values, and you can pass in two values. Also, let's say you're gonna return a value. How do you do that? So you can simply say you're gonna return integer. That's it. So here, well, you can get the sum, and let's print it. Sum. Let's run it and see. Here you can see the value is written as 5. So it simply adds the value 2 and 3, and here you see the whole function is just written in the one single line. So if you want to explore more on this topic, you can search for single expression function. So that's it for the function, and let's slightly touch the WOP side of Kotlin. So if you're going to create a class, what you have to do is you can simply go and create a new Kotlin file or class, and you can put the name and do stuff. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to use just this file and explain the things to you, since it's easy for me to do the work in just one file than jumping here and backward and forward. So let's create our first class, and this class is going to be my world. And my world do have a name, which is a type of string. So another thing to note here is that when you're declaring the variable inside the classes, you have to initialize it. You can just skip it and initialize later. You can't just do that, so you have to initialize it. So I'm going to name it Earth. That's my world. Command S. So if you're going to create an object out of it, what you have to do is, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these things. Okay, otherwise there were too much. It looks a bit busy. Okay, now it's clean and we can start fresh. So if you have to create a new object, what you have to do is var my world is equal to my world. That's it. You don't use the new keyword anymore. Just that's it. And you can access the parameters my world dot name, simply like this. So let's run it and see. You can see here it's printed as Earth, so you can simply access the variable just like that. The attributes, you can see attributes of the classes, you can simply access with the dot, simply like that. Now let's see how we can work on inheritance. Okay, so this is so I'm going to create a new class and new world, and this class is going to inherit from my world. So how do we do that? So again, you put a colon like this, and you type in my world, and you need to initialize it, initialize the constructor. The problem here is that a couple of things. Let's add width integer. I don't know, just put a random value. It's just another things. Classes are usually final in Kotlin, so you have to make it open, otherwise you won't be able to inherit it into another class. That's why there was an error throwing, and once you make the class, the parent class, open, you should be able to inherit it. So let's create an object of new world. New world, and you can my world dot, oh, it's not my world, it's new world with. Let's run it. See earth and 1 2 3. So that's how the inheritance works. You can simply inherit from your parent class. So next thing we can look at how does the interface work. So we looked at how the inheritance works with the node classes. So let's get rid of these things. So I'm going to create a new class. Let's call it, it's going to be an interface, and it's a person. So that's a function called walk, and now I'm going to create a class soldier who is inheriting from person. Okay, now you can override the function walk. You can probably print the soldier is walking. Soldier is walking. So that's how you do the interface. So you have the interface person, and you inherit from it. So since it's an interface, you don't have to initialize it, and just override the function that was declared in the interface, simply like this. So overriding, all these concepts are similar to that what you have learned in Java. So if you're coming from an iOS background, this interface is what you learned as protocols in Swift. So that's a small hint for iOS developers. So let's try this. Let's create a soldier. Come on, I'm typing iOS code here. Soldier, buffalo soldier. Oh, soldier dot walk. Let's see. So you can see here the soldier is walking. So that's how you do the interfaces. That's pretty much it that I want to talk about Kotlin introduction. So basically, this is what I want to stress out. This is not an in-depth course for Kotlin. This is just a quick crash course to get you above the ground on getting to use Kotlin. It's a wonderful language, and you should try it. And more and more people should use it. So the community will grow. So don't be scared. Just try it out. It's very intuitive language, a very self-expressive language. I'm sure if you start using it, you will enjoy it. The Java is quite old now. It's more than 20 years old. And so this is the next big thing for Android. So good luck and do your next app with Kotlin. Bye bye and see you in another tutorial. Have a good day.